Hi Leo, this is Hal Jacobs, PGA professional at Worcester Country Club. Just reviewing what we went over yesterday morning. A lot of great things in your golf swing. Keep up the good work, but remember we talked about let's narrow things down so that we're only working at one thing at a time. And if we work hard on that one thing at a time for 2 or 3 weeks, and then you can move on to the next thing. At times during the lesson, you started to fool around with a couple of different things, and I just don't want you to get in trouble because you got a lot of great things in your golf swing. In terms of setup, at times your knees are a little bit straight, so I don't want them to bend a lot. You can see here to start your golf swing, you bend your knees. That bending right there, that's perfect for the golf swing. I just don't want you to start your swing by bending your knees. If I bring up a couple of people, Charles Schwartzel, the guy who won the Masters this year, he's a young, fairly young guy. This is like perfect setup. Here's an 8-iron. Then you look at Justin Leonard, and he's another guy with pretty good setup. Similar to you, except just a tiny bit of a knee bend. And Scott Verplank, he's a little older guy, but he's got his hands in a similar position as yours, but you can just see his knees are a little bit bent. And you do bend your knees, just you start the golf swing that way. So I'd like to just take that out a little bit. Let me just draw a few lines so we could talk about a couple things. Remember, at the end of the day of this lesson, all we were working on is just trying to get the club face in a square position on the way back. I think if we work on just that for a little bit, you're going to be much better. And let me just finish one more line. Okay. So as we take the club back, it's a little bit inside, but when you get to the top of the golf swing, the club face is pointing straight up, which is a tough position to hit high shots and to hit solid shots. So you keep your spine angle really well. Your knee flex and hip rotation is good. You've got a pretty good turn. Your head's still in the slot that we want it to be. It's just difficult. If you look over here on the right and look at Scott Verplank and watch what his club face looks like at the top. So you could tell a lot of what the club face, if you're having a hard time looking at the club face, look at his wrist position and see that his wrist is pointed this way and your wrist is pointed towards the sky. So I'm going to bring up a couple more guys so you can just see what they look like. Justin Leonard, as we get him to the top of the golf swing, tough to see the club face, but you can take a look at his wrist and see how his wrist looks. So that's definitely the thing that we need to work on in your golf swing. And then as you come back down, you're a little bit from the inside, which is why you hit some of those pushes to the right. But I think you need to fix the club face first, and then once we fix the club face, we can work on getting a little bit more on plane. The big problem is that club face is closed, and you're going to hit a lot of little snipe hooks and low shots. So great stuff. Good playing yesterday, and we'll talk to you later. If you have any questions, feel free to email or call me.